watch this chair this time. Change my strategy. Okay. First of all, congratulations to Coach Pinkel and the Missouri Tigers. They did a great job. They've got a really outstanding team. And I hope their quarterback's okay. I don't know what could have happened to him, but kind of ran off the sideline where he's right in front of me. No contact that I saw, but hopefully he's okay. Just a tough day for Georgia. We got ourselves in trouble, obviously, in the first half. Turnovers weren't real helpful. That's probably the easiest way to explain our biggest problem is, 4 turnovers to 0. That usually doesn't equate to a victory against a really good team. But when we got ourselves in the predicament that we were in at halftime, it was pretty exciting to see our guys fight back and, get to the point where we're going for 2 to tie the ball game early in the fourth quarter. That was I thought our guys did a really good job to get ourselves in position to do that, and then we couldn't quite finish. But I'm proud of the effort of our players. We don't have an effort issue. Obviously turnovers are problematic, but there's a lot more season to play, and we got to again go back and correct what we can and get a good plan for Vandy.
Is there one of those plays on the turnovers that bugs you the most? Douglas fumbles down on the 5, and Murray's blindsided, and they score. Both of them obviously figure pretty prominently.
Yeah, there's a chance that, there's a chance we could have scored a touchdown while we were down, down close. That'd have been nice. And then, you can't say you gave them a touchdown because they earned it. They came around the edge and made the play. The ball comes out, they scoop and score. They made the play. So, but you hate it, when it happens that way. It just it's not like their offense had to drive the field to go get it. But I would say all the turnovers bothered me. I would say that.
Mark, when did you feel the loss of Marshall, Gurley, Scott Leslie done in the most? Was the red zone or particular places?
You know what? I hadn't really thought about that. All I could think about is, in football and probably in life too, when adversity strikes, you just kind of got to find out where you are, and what do you have to do to win. Who do you have? Find out who can play and get them ready and go after it. And that's really all we were thinking about. I'm not going to sit here and start talking about if we'd have had this or that. That's football. Everybody has injuries. We had injuries. Other teams do too. Their quarterback went out when the game was a 2-point game. They found a way to win. So, congratulations to them.
The defense had 3 stops or more in the second half to keep you in the game. When it just,
Yeah, we started out very good defensively in the second half. I think it was at least 3 stops in a row. I don't know. Again, putting us in. We scored. They stopped them. We scored again. They got a stop. We scored again. And I don't know after that, but yeah, we did some good things.
Mark, in the first half, the defense gave up 3 long drives even before you turned the ball over once.
Mm-hmm.
To put you in a position where you're down, got 21 points. So on a day where you knew you probably weren't going to be able to outscore many people, is that the kind of thing that you didn't want to happen?
Well, those guys are pretty good on offense, so it wasn't like shocking. We didn't sit here and think that, we're just going to stone this offensive football team and then they weren't going to move the ball and score at all. It's part of the game. That's going to happen. But I think the halftime score, you can't just sit there and say the 18-point deficit was because of how the defense played. It was partially because of how the defense played, and partially because how the offense played. And, so, I'm not going to sit here and try to say that.
Didn't you talk about the sort of the emotional deflation from LSU to the injuries last week to the loss this week? And,
Yeah. It takes a lot of energy to play any game. It takes a lot of energy to play the types of games, even more energy to play the kind of games we've been playing, and a lot of emotional energy too. You tend to. I know I was exhausted after each one of those, but I really felt like we rebounded well. It was a whole week later. Thought our guys were pretty excited about playing the game. I know the staff was. I think we just played a really good team and got beat.
242, I think, total yards, total offense for Brendan Douglas and J.J. Green, when you talk about receiving and
Right.
rushing. What'd you think about the job those guys
They did a good job. Mike and I, Bobo and I were talking after the game, and they're good backs. They run the ball well. They caught the ball well. We're not paralyzed or handcuffed with those guys in there. They do a good job. We were proud of them.
Coach, Aaron said he forced the ball on those 2 picks late in the game. Does that surprise you considering how poised he's been over the last few weeks?
Oh, a little bit, but they play a ton of zone coverage, and that's what they do, and that's why the backs caught a bunch of balls and all that kind of thing. We knew that going in, and then when you get a lead, it's a lot more incentive to keep playing zone and having your linebackers drop deep, or even your corners in cover 2 to sink, to take away some of the more the intermediate throws, because they know time's on their side, the clock's on their side. So we need to be patient and take those check downs, take those backs. When you're behind, it's a little bit tougher to do. But obviously we were behind 18 points, but we had a lot of clock. When we got it, we got the point differential reduced, where we didn't have to force anything. We got it back where we could just take what they give us, and sometimes you try to make something more out of a play than you should.
Mark, a team has won the national championship with 2 losses.
Yeah.
Do you see any way that you all could maybe get there?
We don't even that's not in my mind at all. What's in my mind is making corrections and getting ready for Vanderbilt. That's really the only thing we can control right now. And in the big picture, the really big picture, the national picture, I'd be foolish to sit here and try to think of a scenario where we could get there. But if we keep banging away and playing good football, good things will happen for us.
Mark, how close do you think this defense is to being good enough to win some games?
I think we're getting there. You see some sparks, you see some, some signs of life. I thought some individuals played well. Ray Drew continued to play well. Shaq Wiggins really played well, I thought. And I'm sure a lot of other guys that did as well. I just, those 2 guys kind of stood out just watching it from the sideline. But I believe we're going to keep getting better. I really do. I think we're going to keep getting better. I think we're going to be the type of defense that everybody's going to be proud of. But it takes some time, and we played some pretty good clubs. There's no doubt about that. This team was no joke offensively. Averaging 550 a game and 46 points or whatever it was a game. Regardless of who you're playing, you have to execute to be able to do that when they're a good team.
4 minutes left in the game, you're down 8.
Yeah.
With what you've seen Aaron Murray do, are you thinking?
Oh yeah,
we're
absolutely. We're thinking we're in position to win the game. We're going to drive the field, score the points, go for 2. Overtime, who knows? Yeah, we're absolutely thinking, here we go again. We got a chance to do it, and to their credit, they made the play.
Coach, was it a case on 3rd down of really when they made them and how they made them, and not how many times they?
Yeah, I think you're right, because we had I think we had a little more success on 3rd downs overall, and I think we had we had 2 or 3 penalties on third down, and maybe 1 or 2 of them really weren't all that necessary. Or weren't the deciding factor of whether we made the stop or not, I guess. Which, you know, you just can't afford to do, but, again, you know, getting them to the third and medium and long is a good thing. It's a good sign. And I thought we did a better job overall as far as, like you say, the number of times we got stops on third down. We just, there's some untimely ones that they got.
But what would be your biggest challenge going into the new week and focusing on the next game and the
Yeah.
possibility of the future? What would be the biggest challenge with you
Yeah.
guys going?
Well, just, you gotta shake it off. Gotta shake off a loss. And, I mean, the world doesn't stop. You gotta go back to school. You gotta keep studying. You might have an exam on Monday. You know, you just gotta get back in the weight room when you're sore and you're tired, you know. All those things. But again, everybody's a little sore. Everybody's a little bit tired. Everybody's got classes. Everybody's got tests to take, you know. So, but when you lose, it's just hard to get out of bed in the morning. You know, it's just natural, especially for young guys. You know, it's hard to understand that, you know, you got to get over it. You got to shake it off and move on. And I think we will. I mean, I know we will. Just that's the hardest part, just getting it going again. Once you get going, once you get to practice, once you're around your teammates and start to lift weights again and get the blood pumping, they'll be fine.
Mark, what are you getting out of Shaq Wiggins? I know he's not the tallest guy, but he seems to make some plays on the perimeter.
Well, he's been tackling very well. He's very quick. He breaks on the ball extremely fast. I mean, he's what we thought he was as a field corner. In college, the field corner doesn't have to support the run a lot, but he does have to go make a tackle on the quick screen, you know. And he's proved with his quickness, he's been able to do that. And now when he gets locked up on a big giant guy, he's got a problem. But it's similar maybe to a smaller defensive end who's very quick. You know, a tackle might have a harder time with a defensive end who is a little maybe shorter and a little bit faster, a little bit quicker. That's a tough matchup sometimes for a tackle athletically, and I think Shaq's a little bit of a tough matchup for a big old receiver trying to get a hold of the little guy. I mean, he's quick. He seems to have a good football IQ, I guess. People use that, and I think there's some truth to that. He kind of gets it. Very good competitor.
Mark, are you hopeful that Todd and Trey and maybe Ruff could go next week?
Yeah, we'll be much more hopeful Todd would play, and Trey, as you mentioned. Rump, I think Rump's going to start practicing Monday. I don't know if Trey's quite that far. Todd, I'd say this is the first week that we would sit here and say he's got a realistic shot, but I wouldn't say, hey, Todd's full speed on Monday. I wouldn't say that. So we'll just have to wait and see how much Todd gets better as the week goes along. Now, he may be ready to go by Monday. I'm not saying he won't, but like we're thinking Rump starts, you know, practicing on Monday. Trey, we're not sure. Todd, we're not sure, but I think we have a realistic shot at Todd and Trey. And then I don't think there's any realistic shot at Michael till Florida. And there may be another guy or two I can't think of.
Barber didn't punt the last 1 or 2 or something?
Yeah. Yeah, he struggled. He was struggling.
That was just a performance issue. Just try somebody.
Yeah, and I'm not saying we made a final decision on that, but I think considering that he had the concussion, and he came back, and he didn't really punt until I think it was Thursday, so it was really hard to tell. And Thursday he struggled a little bit too. So I just don't want to wait forever on it, but I think he'll be with the week of practice. You know, there's a really good chance he'll be back in there.
Last question? Anybody?
Okay, thanks.